At 0930 hours on Tuesday, they fired me. By 1430, I'd frozen their $750 million empire solid. Here's how 26 years of loyalty turned into the perfect takedown. The name's Marcus Sullivan, but everyone calls me Tank. I'm 56 years old, and for the past 26 years, I've been the backbone holding Ashford freight systems together. You don't know me, but if you bought grain in Iowa, beef in Kansas, or farm equipment after a tornado, I'm the reason it got there on time. I run logistics for a $750 million operation moving 1,200 trucks across the Midwest. That's corporate speak for the guy who makes sure America eats. 6 months ago, my cardiologist looked at my stress test results and shook his head. Marcus, you're running on fumes, blood pressure's through the roof. You need to slow down. Easy for him to say. I got alimony payments of $2,800 a month. My daughter Rachel's pregnant with my first grandchild. And my son Dennis just lost his machinist job. Slowing down isn't an option when you're the provider. The watch band tightens around my wrist as I think about it. Old habit from my Navy days, check the pressure, adjust the gear, maintain operational readiness. 12 years in the Navy Supply Corps taught me that logistics failures kill people. Lost 3 shipmates in the USS Cole bombing because someone screwed up the security supply chain, swore I'd never let supply chain failures hurt people again. The trouble started when old Harold Ashford retired to his golf course in Arizona. Harold was tough, sure, but he understood that freight moves on trust and timing. We had an understanding. I kept his trucks rolling, he kept the paychecks coming and stayed out of my way. Then came his son, Braden. Braden Ashford, 29 years old, Stanford MBA, teeth so white they looked like they'd never bit into real food. Kid walked into that CEO office like he owned the world, which technically he did. First week, he installed a meditation room. Second week, he hired this woman, Chelsea Morgan, as chief culture officer. That's corporate speak for his girlfriend with a sociology degree who needed a paycheck. Third week, he was talking about disrupting the antiquated trucking industry. I kept my head down, survived the Gulf War, 3 recessions, and a cyber attack that had me routing trucks with paper maps. Figured I could survive Braden too. My retirement calculations showed 18 months to go. The pension fund had my ex-wife Carol's name on 60% of it per the divorce decree. Every day I didn't work was money out of my grandson's future. The friction started slow, like a hydraulic leak you don't notice until the pressure drops completely. Braden didn't like legacy employees. We were analog. We were old school. I was a middle-aged guy in work boots who preferred CB radio to Slack because when a driver's stuck in a blizzard, you don't send him an emoji. To Braden, I was obsolete. To me, he was like a fresh ensign straight out of Annapolis. Dangerous because he had authority but zero field experience. The breaking point came during harvest season. Peak time, everything moving at once. Corn from Iowa, soybeans from Illinois, wheat from Kansas. I was working 14-hour days coordinating with farmers whose entire year depended on getting crops to market before the weather turned. My watch band was practically cutting circulation. That's when the email landed. Subject, mandatory Team Excellence Retreat Weekend. Braden wanted all senior staff at some resort in Wisconsin for trust exercises and corporate synergy workshops. Same weekend, I had 200 trucks moving temperature-sensitive grain shipments for drought-affected farmers. I hit reply, Braden can't make the retreat. Got critical agricultural loads running Saturday. One delay could cost these farmers their entire season. Have a good weekend. Tank. Professional, respectful, reasonable. I was wrong to think that mattered. Monday morning, the office felt different. You know that feeling when the barometric pressure drops before a storm? The CB chatter was too quiet. Dispatchers avoided eye contact. I sat down, booted up my computer, took a sip of truck stop coffee that could strip paint. My login failed. Access denied. System down, I muttered, trying again. Access denied. I was reaching for the phone when I heard expensive shoes clicking across the concrete floor. Braden's voice echoed behind me. Tank. I spun my chair around. There he was, flanked by Chelsea holding a tablet and 2 security guards who looked like they'd rather be fishing. System down? I asked, though my gut already knew the answer. We're restructuring for operational efficiency, Braden said, adjusting his power tie. Your unwillingness to embrace team culture was the final indicator of poor cultural alignment. I stared at him. The silence stretched tight as a load strap. You're firing me because I chose work over your trust exercises. It's about frequency alignment. Chelsea chimed in, voice full of corporate buzzwords and zero substance. We need people who vibrate on our wavelength. I looked at Chelsea, I looked at Braden, I looked at the security guards. The watch band was cutting off circulation now. Braden, I said, voice calm as a supply manifest. I manage contracts for 500 suppliers. I'm the authorized signatory for the Port of Chicago, Teamsters Local 705, and the Agricultural Transport Alliance. Those relationships don't transfer to your corporate cloud. Braden laughed. Ugly sound. Everyone's replaceable, Tank. That's business 101. I looked at my desk, the CB radio crackling with driver chatter, the framed photo of Rachel's ultrasound, the coffee mug from my Navy unit. I stood up slow and deliberate. Didn't yell, didn't beg, didn't flip tables. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my ID badge, and dropped it in Braden's manicured hand. Roger that, I said. Tell your old man Tank said good luck. My father's in Arizona, Braden sneered. He doesn't care about the help, he will. I said, grabbing my jacket and Rachel's ultrasound. By 1400 hours, your first convoy's gonna hit the way station in Toledo. By 1430, your entire network's going to realize the heart just got ripped out of the body. I walked out. Elevator doors closed on Braden's smug face. I checked my watch. 09330 hours. Time to execute Operation Shutdown. The parking lot air tasted like diesel fumes and freedom. I walked to my 2016 F-150, the one with battle scars from loading dock encounters, tossed my jacket and Rachel's ultrasound onto the passenger seat. Most people, when they get fired after 26 years, panic. Think about the mortgage, health insurance, their identity. Part of me was running those calculations. I'm paying alimony. Rachel's medical bills aren't cheap. That $20 million pension fund better stay intact, 400 drivers counting on it, including me. But another part of me, the part that survived supply convoy duty in hostile territory, was already shifting into tactical mode. Except this time, I wasn't defending the convoy. I was the incoming threat. I pulled out my personal cell. Thank God I never mixed business with personal communications. My contact list read like a who's who of Midwest logistics. Not official channels, but the emergency numbers they called when things went sideways. I didn't send a mass email. That's amateur hour. Looks like sabotage. I needed surgical strikes, precision targeting. I typed out a message, effective immediately. Marcus Sullivan is no longer employed by Ashford Freight Systems. I am no longer authorized to sign off on safety protocols, rate negotiations, or equipment certifications. Per Clause 7B of our standard service agreements, key personnel changes trigger automatic credit review. Please contact Braden Ashford, CEO, for all future authorizations. Clause 7B. The kill switch I'd built into every major contract years ago when Ashford was expanding fast and vendors were nervous about getting paid. Simple clause that said if the key relationship manager, minus, left the company, vendors could pause service until they vetted the replacement. Braden didn't know about Clause 7B. Braden probably thought service agreements were something you signed on an iPad. I hit send. First email to Allied Agricultural Transport. Send. Midwest Grain Haulers Consortium. Send. Chicago Port Authority Freight Division. Send. Took me 30 minutes working down the list alphabetically. Each send was like pulling a pin from a grenade. Every ping cost Ashford about $50,000 in delayed revenue. My phone buzzed immediately. Earl Washington from Teamsters Local 705, voice like gravel in a blender. Tank, what the hell is this email? Just got a bounce back from your work address saying user unknown. I'm out, Earl, I said, loosening my watch band for the first time in hours. Braden cut me loose this morning. Cultural alignment issues. Cultural alignment. Earl barked a laugh. Does this college boy know we got 150 drivers moving grain loads today, temperature-sensitive cargo that'll spoil if we sit around? My guys don't roll without your safety authorization. That'd be Braden's problem now. Maybe Chelsea can align the safety protocols with proper frequency. Yeah, right. You ain't signing off, trucks don't roll. Clause 7B. Correct. Clause 7B, copy that. Tank, trucks are parking. Enjoy your day off, one domino down. I fired up the F-150 and drove to my command post, Molly's truck stop on Route 88. Greasy spoon with vinyl booths, coffee that could strip paint, and eggs cooked in grease older than Braden. Perfect. I walked in. Molly Peterson behind the counter knew me from many late nights waiting for delayed drivers' coffee tank. Keep it coming, she said, and here's the Wi-Fi password. Set up my laptop on the sticky table. Phone started buzzing immediately. Incoming call. Swift Agricultural Logistics. Incoming call. Iowa Grain Transport. Incoming call. Braden Ashford. I stared at Braden's name flashing on the screen. Let it ring, he called again. Let it ring again. Took a sip of coffee. Tasted like victory. I opened my tracking app, publicly available system that monitored truck movements. Red dots were appearing across the map. Red meant stationary for more than 30 minutes. Cluster of red dots forming outside Chicago. That'd be the grain terminal where security codes updated weekly. I used to text new codes to drivers every Monday. Today was Tuesday. The system required manual authorization reset. I hadn't done the reset before Braden escorted me out. Phone buzzed. Text from unknown number, 312 area code. Mr. Sullivan, this is Peterson, dispatch for Central Illinois Egg Transport. Our drivers are locked out of the Ashford terminal in Chicago. Your office is unresponsive. Are we in breach? I typed back. Mr. Peterson, I no longer work for Ashford. Refer to Clause 7B, cannot authorize access. Good luck. 3 minutes later, another red dot appeared on my map. Chicago terminal was frozen. My phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Every vendor, every driver, every partner I'd worked with over 2 decades was calling. The network was realizing the nerve center had been severed. At 12:30 hours, my phone rang. Not Braden this time. The frantic voice of Chelsea Morgan. This is Tank, I answered. Voice calm and professional, Tank. She shrieked. Sounded like she was hyperventilating. You have to give us the access codes. The drivers are calling the police. Chelsea, I don't have access codes. They're on the server. We can't get into the server. It keeps asking for authentication sent to your phone. Ah, that's two-factor authentication. Very important for cybersecurity. Military-grade protection. Give me the code. Can't do it, Chelsea. I'm a civilian now. Sharing security credentials with unauthorized personnel violates federal cybersecurity laws. I could face prosecution. Silence. Stunned. Silence. I could hear Braden in the background. Tell him he's holding the company hostage. Braden, I said, raising my voice so he could hear. You terminated my employment effective immediately. That means my security clearance is revoked. If I give you that code, I'm committing a federal crime. Won't break the law for a company I don't work for. I'm putting you on speaker. Chelsea's voice was shaking now. Tank. Braden's voice tight with barely controlled panic. Stop playing games. Give us the code or I'm suing you for corporate sabotage. Braden, you fired me for cultural fit. Said I was replaceable. Surely your agile leadership team can figure out password recovery through your IT provider. We called IT. They said the account administrator has to authorize reset. That's you. Sounds like a flaw in your org chart. I'd suggest calling AT&T's emergency line. Costs about $5,000 per hour, but they can override it in maybe 24 hours. 24 hours? Braden exploded. We have 500 tons of soybeans sitting in Iowa. It'll spoil. Soybeans are tricky. Time-sensitive commodity. Did you renew the climate control contracts for the storage facilities? Those expire monthly. I usually handle that manually because the automated system glitches. Thud. Sounded like someone punching a desk. Fix this. Tank. Come back and maybe we won't destroy you. Are you offering me my job back? I'm offering you a chance to not be ruined. No thanks, I'm busy. Got some truck restoration to catch up on. Very therapeutic. I hung up. My hand was shaking slightly. Not from fear, but from adrenaline. I just hung up on a CEO. Felt pretty good. More red dots appeared on my map. Miami cold storage facility. That'd be the refrigerated units losing power because the fuel cards bounced. I texted Roy Jackson, the cold storage foreman. Roy, it's Tank. I'm out. The kid's driving the bus off a cliff. Fuel cards are going to bounce. Don't let drivers sit there burning diesel. Hook up to shore power at your facility. Emergency contingency account 775-1B. I set it up 2 years ago. Roy texted back immediately. Roger, Tank. Heard the news. We got you. Screw the rich kid. We'll save the product, but no trucks move till you say so. That's when I realized I wasn't unemployed. I was freelance. My currency was influence built over 26 years of keeping my word and taking care of people. Time to be proactive. I thought about who'd benefit most from Ashford's collapse. Global Transport Corporation. Their VP, Clayton Webb, had been trying to recruit me for years. I always said no out of loyalty to Harold. But loyalty is a two-way street. Braden had just paved over it with his BMW. I dialed Clayton's number. He answered immediately. Tank Sullivan. What do I owe the pleasure? I'm available, Clayton. Available, fired this morning, expensive pause. Where are you? Molly's truck stop, Route 88. Stay there, I'm sending a car. Clayton, one thing. I'm not coming alone. I'm bringing the Port of Chicago, Teamsters Local 705, and the Agricultural Transport Alliance. I'll send the limo. Black Lincoln Town car pulls up to the truck stop. Sticks out like a diamond in a coal pile. Driver opens the door. I grab my laptop bag and climb in. Smells like success and leather cleaner. As we cruise toward downtown Chicago, I check the industry news on my phone. Transport Topics headline: Ashford Systems reports major IT outage, grain shipments stalled. Freight Insider: who is Tank Sullivan? Why truckers won't roll for Ashford? I'm trending in the nerdiest corner of the internet. Fame is weird. Then a news alert pops up that makes my watch band tighten again. Breaking. Incident report. Ashford freight vehicle involved in multi-truck pileup on I-80. Hazmat spill reported. I call Earl immediately. He answers before the first ring completes. Tank, tell me you saw the news. I saw it. Was it one of our guys? No, but listen. It was a scab driver. Non-union guy Braden hired off some app an hour ago because we refused to move the load. My stomach drops. What kind of load? Industrial solvent? The kid didn't have hazmat endorsement. Tank took a curve too fast, jackknifed, leaked chemicals all over the interstate. EPA's on scene. This isn't just a delay anymore. This is federal. Some kid's in the hospital because Braden was too arrogant to admit he needed me. Driver okay? He's alive. Banged up bad, but Ashford's done. Tank's going to ground the entire fleet for safety audit. Mandatory suspension of operations. I arrive at Global Transport Headquarters. 40-story glass tower that screams competence and money. Clayton Webb's waiting in the lobby. Looks like an admiral who won every war he fought. Tank, he extends his hand. You look energized. I look unemployed, Clayton, and there's been a development. Hazmat spill on I-80. Shutting Ashford down completely. His eyes widened. Stock's going to zero. Braden doesn't just need a lawyer now. He needs a miracle. We take the elevator to the 35th floor. His office has a view of the entire city, including actual smoke rising from I-80 where hazmat crews are working. Whiskey or coffee? We got work to do. Clayton pours coffee from a machine that probably costs more than my truck. Our dispatch center's been flooded with requests. Ashford loads hitting the spot market, rates going through the roof. Braden's panicking, trying to cover the loads but doesn't have the driver relationships. Plus, my boys won't roll for him anyway. What do you want, Tank? VP title, corner office. We can beat your Ashford salary by 20%. I don't want a job, Clayton. I want autonomy. I want to build a division within global strategic agricultural operations. I bring my vendor network, my driver relationships, my reputation. I run it my way. No interference from your marketing department. I report to you. Period. You're asking for your own kingdom. I'm offering you an empire by tomorrow. Major clients, ADM, Cargill, Tyson Foods will be looking for a lifeboat. I can be that lifeboat. Clayton smiles. Predators smile, but honest predators make deals. But I need the Port of Chicago transferred immediately. We've got grain backing up. Done. Get me a contract. My phone buzzes. Text from Rachel. Dad, seeing news about Ashford on trucking websites. You okay? I text back. Affirmative, sweetheart. Tactical redeployment in progress. Focus on that grandson. This is handled. While we're waiting for legal to draw up contracts, my phone rings. Spencer Hayes, Ashford's corporate attorney. Tank, you need to know. Harold's plane just landed. He doesn't know about the accident yet, but he knows the stock's crashing. He's furious. Thanks for the heads up, Spencer. I grab my jacket. Clayton, draw up those papers. I got to meet a very angry father. Drove to the private airfield where Harold's Gulfstream was scheduled. Parked by the fence, watching his jet taxi to the hangar. The stairs lowered. Harold Ashford descended like a storm cloud with legs. He was on his phone shouting. Even from 50 yards away, I could see rage radiating off him. He looked around for his car, saw nothing, then saw my F-150. I rolled down the window. You, he roared, pointing. You destroyed everything I built. Get in, Harold, I said, using his first name for the first time in 26 years. He stopped. Shock silenced him. Get in. Your driver's not coming. Braden fired dispatch, so nobody coordinated pickup. Flight's early anyway. I'm the only ride you got. He stared at the empty parking lot, looked at his phone probably blowing up with disaster reports, yanked the door open, climbed in. "Drive," he growled, "and explain why my life's work is worth half what it was this morning. Seatbelt, Harold, it's a long story. Starts with trust exercises and ends with your son's incompetence. We peeled out onto the highway. You destroyed my legacy," he said, staring out the window. "No, Harold. I built your legacy. Braden destroyed it. I just stopped holding the pieces together." Mile of silence. Then, the accident. Spencer mentioned hazmat spill on I-80. "Your son hired an unqualified driver through a smartphone app because my union guys wouldn't roll. Kids in the hospital. EPA's scrubbing chemicals off the interstate. Dots grounding your entire fleet." He turned to look at me, eyes like blue steel. "How bad?" "EPA fines will bankrupt your liquid reserves." That's before wrongful injury lawsuits when investigators find out your CEO hired a non-certified driver for hazmat cargo. "So you want your job back?" "Want me to fire Braden? I don't want my job back, Harold. I'm done. Just doing this courtesy ride so you don't hear it from CNN. Hear what? That I'm taking the entire supply network to global transport. Port of Chicago signed the transfer 2 hours ago. Most of your vendors are following." The silence in the truck was deafening. Sound of an empire ending. "You wouldn't." "I already did. Clayton Webb made me an offer I couldn't refuse. VP of Strategic Agricultural Operations. My own division, full autonomy." Strange thing happened. He slumped back and started laughing. Dry, bitter chuckle. "Clause 7B, he muttered. "I remember when you wrote that. Told you it was overkill, it was insurance, Harold. You just cashed the policy." We were approaching headquarters. Police lights flashing, news vans on the lawn, EPA hazmat trucks. Looked like a federal crime scene. "Drop me at the loading dock," he said. I drove around back to where I'd started 26 years ago. He opened the door, paused. "Tank, if I fire Braden right now, clean house completely, will you stay?" I looked at the loading dock, the crumbling concrete, the empire I'd built with sweat and stress and 26 years of my life. "Negative, Harold. Too much damage done. But I'll make you a deal." "What kind of deal?" "That $20 million pension fund your son's about to lose to legal fees. Those 400 drivers counting on retirement. Global will assume the liability if you sell us Ashford's assets for $1 clean transfer. Your people keep their benefits." His face went white. "Sell my company for $1. Harold, it's worth less than that right now. I'm offering you a clean exit and a way to take care of your people." Long pause. The weight of 74 years settling on his shoulders. "Do it," he said quietly. "Save the pensions, I'll sign whatever you need." He got out, walked toward the chaos. A king returning to bury his kingdom. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my new office at Global Transport. Glass wall overlooking the port. I can see cranes loading containers onto ships. Some still have faded Ashford logos, but they're moving on global bills of lading now. The pension fund transfer went through. All 400 drivers kept their benefits. Earl sent me a plaque. "To Tank, we roll when you say roll." It hangs next to my Navy commendation. Braden got 18 months federal prison for safety violations and embezzlement. Chelsea's podcast about surviving toxic masculinity lasted 3 episodes before sponsors dropped her. Harold's in Arizona. Sent me a case of wine with a note. "To the best logistics officer I ever served under. I opened a bottle last week. Tasted like respect." My assistant Rosa walks in. "Daily briefing. Tank. Fleet utilization up 23%. Customer satisfaction highest in company history. 0 safety incidents. The machine's humming perfectly." Phone rings. Tank Sullivan's office. "Grain emergency in Nebraska," Rosa says. "Early frost warning. They need 150 trucks by dawn." I put on my headset, pull up the route planning software. Let's move some freight. That evening, I drive home to my apartment. Dennis is there visiting, 3 months sober now, working part-time at a machine shop. His eyes are clearer than they've been in years. "Dad," he says, "my supervisor heard about what you did, said you're a legend in logistics circles now." "I'm not a legend, son. I'm just a guy who knows how systems work. And sometimes when people take those systems for granted, you gotta remind them what happens when they break. But you didn't just break it, you fixed it better." I look at my son, 27 years old, working with his hands, building something real, everything I fought for. That's the thing about competence, Dennis. It doesn't just tear down, it builds up. The working guys, we're the ones who keep America running. When the suits forget that, we remind them. 3 weeks later, Rachel called me at 000 hours. Dad, it's time. I drove to the hospital, hands shaking on the steering wheel. Not from the heart condition, but from anticipation. When I held my grandson, Marcus James Sullivan Martinez, for the first time, his tiny fingers wrapped around my thumb with supply line precision. Perfect grip strength. Excellent operational readiness. What do you think, Grandpa? Rachel asked. I looked at this kid who'll never know his grandfather worked 26 years to secure his future. Never know that sometimes you have to pull the plug before you can power back up stronger. Pablo, Rachel's husband, was beaming like he'd just won the lottery. Good man, that Pablo construction worker knows the value of hard work. I think I said, adjusting my watch band one more time, we just delivered the most important cargo of our lives. Rachel smiled, exhausted but happy. Dad, I've been thinking about what you said once, about how logistics is really about taking care of people. That's right, sweetheart. Well, you took care of a lot of people, the drivers, their families, even us. Thank you. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. The kind that comes when you know you did the right thing, even when it cost you everything. Dennis walked in carrying coffee from the hospital vending machine. Hey, Dad. Carol called. She heard about the baby, said to tell you congratulations and thank you for keeping the pension intact. Even my ex-wife understood. Sometimes doing right by people means more than keeping the peace. 6 months after little Marcus was born, I got a call from a trucking company in Wisconsin. Family business, third generation, facing pressure from a corporate buyout. They'd heard my story, wanted advice. Tank, the owner, said, "How do you fight guys with more money than sense?" "You don't fight them," I said, watching my grandson sleep in his carrier next to my desk. "You just make sure they need you more than you need them. Then you remind them what happens when competence walks out the door." That's the thing about competence. It doesn't just tear down, it builds up. The working guys, we're the ones who keep America running. When the suits forget that, we remind them. And in America, that's still us, the guys who know how to get things done. One honest day's work at a time. The pension funds are secure, the drivers are working, the freight keeps moving, and somewhere in Arizona, Harold Ashford is learning that respect isn't inherited, it's earned. Sometimes the system needs a hard reboot. Sometimes you got to pull the plug before you can power back up stronger. But when you do it right, everybody wins except the people who forgot what real work looks like. Tank out. In the end, I learned that loyalty isn't a contract you sign with a company. It's a promise you keep with the people who depend on you to do the job, right? And when that promise gets broken from above, sometimes the only way to honor it is to tear down what's corrupt and build something better. 26 years taught me that the real power in America isn't in corner offices or board meetings. It's in the calloused hands of people who actually know how to make things work. And when we decide to stop working for those who don't respect us, the whole house of cards comes crashing down faster than they ever imagined.